Sir, an answer is laid on the table of the House.
Sri K. Ram Mohan Naidu.
Sir. So for the last 4 years, the state of Andhra Pradesh has been suffering extensively due to financial mismanagement, sir, which is being carried out by the present state government. It has not been able to pay the salaries of the employees. There is close to zero expenditure being spent on infrastructure like roads. There is mismanagement, diversion of funds which are being sent by the center to the state government, sir. Sir, in this, I want to mention to the Honorable Minister that when there is a financial crisis in the state, number one is the malintention of the state government itself. Number two is when the state government is not able to maintain financial discipline, sir. What I mean by this is, there are FRBM limits that are already there. But with the states, due to its own greed, it is borrowing much more than the limits. And when the limits come into the picture, when they are close to the FRBM limits, they are trying to use the state-owned corporations to raise much more money, sir, which is pushing the state into much more debt, but maybe it's not being shown under the FRBM limits. And one such example for the state of Andhra Pradesh, the present government, sir, it has promised that it is going to go... Sir, I'll just finish, sir. It has promised that it's going to do liquor ban. And now it is so hypocritical that the AP State Beverages Corporation, which is going to sell liquor, and they are taking funds by issuing bonds through this corporation, sir, and increasing the borrowings of the state. I just want to know through the Honorable Minister, when the state is not following this financial discipline, what is the responsibility of the center to ensure there is proper financial discipline in the state, sir? Thank you.
Sir, the Honorable Member referred to the FRBM Act, sir, which is essentially an act which, of course, in center we do have, and every state has its own FRBM. So, in other words, the FRBM for Andhra Pradesh would be something which the assembly there will be seized of the matter, and per their act, they should take the discussion forward in the House, if anything at all. One. Second, as regards the kind of nudging or suggestion or oversight that we can have, is derived from the Article 293 of the Constitution, which periodically we keep doing. I just want to inform the Honourable Member through you, sir, that these are steps which we take.
N.K. Premchandan.
Sir, thank you very much for giving this opportunity to ask a supplementary on GST. So the GST compensation is a big controversial issue now in the country. Most of the states are complaining and also making a suggestion and memorandum to the Government of India to extend the GST compensation period so that the state will be financially empowered. See, I would like to know from the Honorable Minister, because it has already been the term of paying compensation, GST compensation has already been expired on 30th June 2022. So I would like to know from the Honorable Minister, if it is continuing, it is an anticipatory question I would like to know academically from the Honorable Minister, if it continues, that if the GST compensation payable to the states continues even after June 2022 at the present stage, how many states are eligible for getting GST compensation as per the statistical data available with the government? Because so many allegations are coming that since the GST compensation is not being paid, the states are in big financial trouble, and the stress is because of the GST compensation is not being paid. So I would like to know from the Honorable Minister regarding this. And also, Madam may be remembering that the last session, the same question was put regarding the IGST also. The integrated GST also not being paid to the state because they have not submitted the proper records, and the Honorable Minister has directed me to discuss with the state government and let them supply all the documents regarding it. I hope that the state government has already mentioned all the documents have already been submitted, whether the payment has duly been given. Conclude. These are the two supplements. Thank you very much, sir.
So the Honourable Member has raised quite a lot of issues in his questions, and if you allow me, I would like to answer each one of them. Sir, the GST law and the one specifically on the compensation, as the Honourable Member rightly pointed out, expired as of 30th June, meaning giving compensation to fill the gap between that assumed income and shortfall has come to an end as of 30th June 2022. The council subsequently, because all of us underwent the COVID pandemic, when we didn't have revenues at all, we had to borrow money and keep giving the compensation. That borrowed money has to be serviced and to be returned. So, under the GST Act, which provided for the compensation, because it is the compensation which will have to be paid back to the states for the period which was covered by that act, and that had to be borrowed, and now the borrowing will have to be paid. With the advice of the Attorney General of India, the Council took a decision to extend collecting compensation cess till such a time just that borrowed money and the interest that has to be paid to it are repaid. So 30th June 2022, paying of compensation per se has come to an end. The Act allows us to extend collecting the compensation cess for paying the compensation till 2026 March, only on account of repaying the principal and servicing the interest for that amount for the borrowing that was done. And that borrowing was done purely for giving the compensation during that period ending 30 June 2022. So the compensation cess is getting collected now beyond 2022 only for that point and nothing else. And that technically will have to come to an end by 30th March 2026. Hopefully we'll be able to pay it back even earlier. Any extension of paying compensation beyond the amount which is being borrowed is not envisaged in the Act. And the GST Council has had several discussions on this. It is not envisaged in the Act to extend the compensation cess collection beyond 30th June 2022. That extension which I explained, which is going on till 26, is only as regards borrowed money which has to be paid back. That borrowing was purely for paying the compensation. So that is the true position, one. Second, compensation cess not being paid. I've explained this a lot of times. I'm seeking your indulgence so that I can explain it again. 30th June 2022 was the last date when we started collecting, when we kept collecting the cess, and with the cess collected, we are paying for the states. Paying for the states, the compensation happens every time the state produces with the AG's certificate saying this is the compensation due to us, please pay it. The moment that comes in with the AG's certificate, we pay it. Honorable Member N.K. Premchandran comes from Kerala. I would like to give him the factual position as of now. Kerala has, AG's certificate has been received from Kerala 4 years, except for 22-23 first quarter. 22-23 first quarter, Kerala has not sent the AG's certificate as yet. Any payment will be processed now that the AG's certificate has been received. And that is the principle on which compensation cess is being given to every state. Every other state has probably given, except for Nagaland, which has not given AG's certificate for any year beginning 2017-18. Sikkim has not given for 3 years, West Bengal has not given for 4 years, and so on. It varies, the position varies. So the moment the claim comes along with an AG certificate, we release the compensation amounts. We are not holding back compensation amount for any other reason except if AG certificate has not reached us.